Jain children, welcome back to biology video class. Previous class we have started the chapter respiration and we have completed the first step in respiration, that is glycolysis. Today we are continuing with the topic respiration. Respiration is of mainly two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In anaerobic respiration, respiration happens in the absence of oxygen, and it is the partial breakdown of organic compounds without using oxygen and releasing only a fraction of energy. Anaerobic respiration is often called fermentation, and it is of two types. They are alcoholic fermentation and lactic acid fermentation. Based on the end product that we are getting, fermentation is of two types. Alcoholic fermentation, here alcohol is the product which is formed after the fermentation, and in lactic acid fermentation, lactic acid is formed. Alcohol fermentation is commonly occurs in fungus, that is rhizopus and yeast, and in some bacteria also alcoholic fermentation can be seen. Lactic acid fermentation mainly occurs in lactic acid bacteria, that is lactobacillus, and also occurs in our muscle cells during the absence of oxygen. We can study about this anaerobic respiration in detail. So anaerobic respiration is of two types. They are alcohol fermentation and lactic acid fermentation. In both alcohol fermentation and lactic acid fermentation, glycolysis is the first step that we have studied on the previous class. In glycolysis, what happens to glucose? Glucose converted to 2 molecules of pyruvic acid that we have studied on the previous class. So glycolysis is the first step both in alcohol fermentation and lactic acid fermentation. Then comes the second step. The pyruvic acid, which is formed after the end product of glycolysis, is converted to ethanol and carbon dioxide in alcohol fermentation. So in the case of alcohol fermentation, the pyruvic acid which converted to ethanol, so it's called alcohol fermentation, ethanol and carbon dioxide, and during this step one molecule of NADH2 is utilized. So this process is energy consuming process. So for the conversion of one molecule of pyruvic acid, one NADH2 is formed. We know that at the end of glycolysis, 2 molecules of pyruvic acids are produced. So here it is needed 2 molecules of NADH2. So in alcohol fermentation, 2 molecules of pyruvic acid are the end product in glycolysis. So 2 NADH2s are utilized. In the case of lactic acid fermentation, here also glycolysis is the first step. So the end product which is formed after glycolysis is pyruvic acid. Here pyruvic acid converted to lactic acid. And in this step also one molecule of NADH2 is utilized. And here also for the conversion of one molecule of pyruvic acid, one NADH2 is utilized. So total 2 NADH2s are utilized in lactic acid fermentation also. Lactic acid fermentation mainly occurs in animal cells like muscle cells during exercise when oxygen is inadequate for cellular respiration. So in our muscle cells, when oxygen is not present, there we can see the accumulation of lactic acid, that is the anaerobic respiration will happen, and due to the accumulation of lactic acid, muscle cramps will appear. Look at the net gain of energy in anaerobic respiration. So when we are observing the energy balance after glycolysis, we know that there we can see the formation of 2 NADPH plus and also 2 ATP. Total 4 ATPs are produced, but 2 ATPs are utilized within the glycolysis. So overall, the end products or the end ATP molecule which is formed after glycolysis is 2 NADPH plus and also 2 ATP. 2 molecules of NADPH plus H plus are utilized in anaerobic respiration of 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. So 2 molecules of pyruvic acid are produced. For the conversion of the 2 molecules of pyruvic acid either to alcohol or to lactic acid, 2 NADPH plus are utilized. So the net gain of energy after anaerobic respiration will be only 2 ATP. So here we can see 2 ATP, NADPH are formed during glycolysis. That 2 NADPH plus H plus is utilized for the conversion of lactic acid or ethanol. So the balance energy which is formed after anaerobic respiration is only 2 ATP molecule. Next comes aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration also consists of mainly two steps. The first step is glycolysis that we have studied, which is common in both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. And the second step is called, or second cycle is TCA cycle or Krebs cycle, or otherwise called citric acid cycle. So this aerobic respiration consists of mainly two steps. First step is glycolysis. Second step is TCA cycle or Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. So these are the three names of the cycle. TCA cycle. TCA stands for tricarboxylic acid cycle. And Krebs cycle, that representing the scientist name Hans Krebs have discovered this cycle. So the cycle's name is Krebs cycle. And why it is called citric acid cycle? Because the first product which is formed during this cycle is citric acid. So the cycle is called a citric acid cycle. So TCA cycle, Krebs cycle and a citric acid cycle. So this is a second step in aerobic respiration. Next comes where this aerobic respiration occurs. I have already mentioned aerobic respiration is completed or respiration is happening inside cytoplasm and mitochondria. And we have already mentioned that the first event in respiration, that is glycolysis, that is happening in cytoplasm. And the second event, that is TCA cycle or the Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle, that occurs inside mitochondria. So these are the two sites where the aerobic respiration is occurring. And in between this glycolysis and the Krebs cycle or TCA cycle, there we can see a connecting link between these two cycles. So in between these two, there we can see a connecting link. In this connecting link, this pyruvic acid first of all decarboxylated and then oxidized by the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase, and then the remaining 2-carbon acetate compound is accepted by an enzyme, that is coenzyme A, to form acetyl coenzyme A. And during this step, one molecule of NADH is produced. So before pyruvic acid entering inside the Krebs cycle. So pyruvic acid, which is the end product of glycolysis. So pyruvic acid cannot directly enter inside the Krebs cycle. As a result, the pyruvic acid combines with the coenzyme A in the presence of magnesium to become acetyl coenzyme A, and also carbon dioxide is also produced. So in this step, one molecule of NADH2 is produced. So this step is called a connecting link between glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So glycolysis, the end product is pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid is not directly enter into Krebs cycle. Before that, it converted to acetyl coenzyme A. And at that time, one molecule of NADH is produced. So thus two molecules of NADH are produced, because here one molecule of pyruvic acid converted to acetyl coenzyme A. At that time, one NADH2 is produced. So here total 2 molecules of pyruvic acids are produced after the glycolysis. So total 2 NADH2 molecules are produced. And this process or this reaction is considered as the connecting link between glycolysis and the Krebs cycle. So in this connecting link, total 2 NADH are produced. That means 1 NADH is equal to 3 ATP. So 2 NADH is producing 6 ATP molecules. Next comes citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle or TCA cycle. Pyruvic acid, which is the end product of glycolysis, this pyruvic acid is directly not entering inside the citric acid cycle. So before that, it converted to what? Acetyl coenzyme A. At that time, one molecule of carbon dioxide is produced and also one molecule of NADH plus H plus is also produced. So this is in the case of one molecule of pyruvic acid. Total 2 molecules of pyruvic acids are there. So total 2 NADH2 will be produced here. So that means this cycle will repeat once more. This is in the case of one molecule of pyruvic acid. Anyway, this pyruvic acid converted to what? Acetyl coenzyme A, and this step is considered as the intermediate or the interconnecting link between glycolysis and the Krebs cycle. And from here onwards we can see glycolysis, or from here onwards we can see citric acid cycle. So during citric acid cycle, acetyl coenzyme A combines with the oxaloacetic acid. Acetyl coenzyme A is a 2-carbon compound. Pyruvic acid is a 3-carbon compound. One molecule of carbon dioxide is eliminated out, so it becomes 2-carbon compound. This 2-carbon compound combines with the oxaloacetic acid. We have studied oxaloacetic acid during C4 cycle, which is a 4-carbon compound, and that leads to a formation of a 6-carbon compound. Its name is citric acid. So the cycle name is citric acid cycle. So this is the first step in citric acid cycle or TCA cycle or Krebs cycle. Acetyl coenzyme A combines with the oxaloacetic acid to become citric acid, which is a 6-carbon compound. Then citric acid, which converted to alpha ketoglutaric acid. At that time, one molecule of carbon dioxide is eliminated out, so the 6-carbon compound becomes 5-carbon compound. And during that step also, one molecule of NADH2 is released. Alpha ketoglutaric acid next converted to succinyl coenzyme A. And during that step also, one molecule of carbon dioxide is eliminated out, so the 5-carbon compound becomes 4-carbon compound, and during that step also another molecule of NADH2 is released. This 4-carbon compound succinyl coenzyme A next converted to succinic acid, which is also a 4-carbon compound. During that step, one molecule of GTP is equivalent to ATP. GTP is the energy form in animals. So one molecule of GTP is released during that step. Next, succinic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound, that converted to malic acid, another 4-carbon compound. During that step, one molecule of FADH2 is released. One molecule of FADH2 is equal to 2 molecule of ATP. This 4-carbon malic acid again converted back to oxaloacetic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound. During that step, another NADH2 molecule is released. So this is the cycle, citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle or TCA cycle. So in this cycle we can see energy is formed. It's not utilized. Energy is released during different steps. So here we can see first step NADH2 is released, second step also NADH2 is forming, then on the third step GTP is releasing, next we can see FADH2 is releasing, and on the last step also NADH2 is releasing. So total 3 molecules of NADH2s are releasing, 1 molecule of FADH2 is releasing, and 1 molecule of GTP is also releasing. So this is in the case of 1 molecule of pyruvic acid. So we know that glycolysis, at the end of glycolysis, 2 molecules of pyruvic acids are produced. So this cycle will repeat once more. And total how many NADH2 will be formed after the complete oxidation of glucose? In one cycle we can see 3 NADH2. So total 6 NADH2. Then 1 FADH2, that is total 2 FADH2, and also 2 GTPs are released after the complete oxidation or complete breakdown of one molecule of glucose. So here comes the ATP molecule, which is produced during the aerobic respiration. So the first step is glycolysis that we have studied. During glycolysis, glucose is converted to pyruvic acid. At that time, direct ATP which is synthesized there is 4. and the 2 molecules of NADH2 is also released. 1 NADH2 is equal to 3 ATP, so total 6 ATPs are produced. And in that glycolysis, the ATP which is utilized is 2. So the net gain is 10 minus 2, 8 ATP. Then on the second step, that is the connecting link between glycolysis and the citric acid, there we can see a step, pyruvic acid converted to acetyl coenzyme A. At that time also 2 molecule of NADH2 is released. We have studied for the when 1 molecule of pyruvic acid converted to this acetyl coenzyme A, 1 NADH2 is produced. Here we can see 2 pyruvic acid, so total 2 NADH2s are produced, that means 6 ATP. Then on the last step, that is when citric acid cycle, during citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle, there we can see NADH2 which is produced during one cycle is 3, it will be repeated twice, that means 6 NADH2s are produced, that means 18 ATP. Then in each cycle 1 FADH2, total 2 cycles will be there, that means 2 FADH2, that is 4 ATP will be produced, because 1 FADH2 is equal to 2 ATP, and directly synthesized ATP, that is GTP, is 2. So when we are counting all these, that means 8 plus 6 plus 18 plus 4 plus 2, total 38 ATP molecules are produced during the aerobic respiration of 1 molecule of glucose. At the same time, in anaerobic respiration, the net gain of ATP is what? Only 2 molecules of ATP. Now look at the difference between glycolysis and fermentation. Glycolysis is the first step of respiration which occurs without the requirement of oxygen and is common to both aerobic and anaerobic mode of respiration. While fermentation is an anaerobic respiration which does not require oxygen. Second one, glycolysis, it produces pyruvic acid, and fermentation it produces either ethanol or lactic acid. Third difference, in glycolysis produces 2 molecules of NADH2 per glucose molecule, while in fermentation it generally utilizes 2 molecules of NADH2 produced during glycolysis. And the fourth difference, glycolysis forms 2 ATP molecules per glucose molecule, while in fermentation there is no ATP is produced. These are the difference between glycolysis and fermentation. Dear children, watch the video carefully, and after that you have to write this question answer. What are the differences between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration? There are total 6 differences are there. Find out that differences, write it down and send it to me. Thank you.